Okay, welcome guys. Okay, this is example 11 from our normal distribution subtopic. Okay, so this is finding in example 10. In example 10, you are given Z score and you need to find the probability. Correct? Okay, now probability is given. You need to find the Z score in your example 11. There's a difference between example 10 and example 11. If you cannot understand example 10 and 11, you cannot proceed to the next part. So make sure you understand this part very well. I'm going to explain in depth. Okay, so let's look at the question A. Question A, you are given probability Z greater than A equal to 0.3851. So what is the important thing you need to watch out for this type of question? Okay, right. You need to observe this probability whether it is more than 0.5 or less than 0.5. You are known that our normal distribution is symmetrical, the graph. So this part is 0.5, the probability, sum of all probability here. And this part, the sum of all probability here is 0.5. In total, it makes the probability sum equal to 1. So remember that. And you need to position this A in a correct place. Okay, that's the major issue lah here. So for example, if let's say I draw the graph for this, Z greater than A means you shade right hand side. Okay, greater, right? You shade right hand side. So if I put my A here, let's say I put A here, if I shade everywhere here, it is not logic to get 0.3851, isn't it? Because the whole part here itself already 0.5, which is more than 0.3851. So these possibilities is wrong. Okay, so where should be your A? Your A should be at your positive side. You need to determine whether your A is at positive or negative. That's the most important part. So when you shade here, A greater than Z greater than 8, 0.3851, it is very logical. Less than 0.5. Okay, so by that, we know that probability Z greater than A is 0.3851. That means you can calculate straight from your table. Okay, remember we are calculating the Z score, not the probability. Okay, now let's look at the table. 0.3851. So let's look for the probability that is very close to it. 3859. Okay, because previously the next close was 0.3821, which is smaller than what we are seeking. We are seeking for what? 0.3851. So 59 is bigger than that, slightly bigger than that. And then to get 3851, how much you need to minus from 0.3859? We need to minus 8. Correct or not? We need to minus 0.0008. Then you get 3851. So your 8 is here. Okay, see, I mark for you already. Okay, now from here read your Z score. 0.2. Okay, 0.29. Remember, 0.29, and what is 8? 2. So your first answer 0.292 lah. Okay, you take the Z 292. So here your A is equal to 0.292. Okay, next look at question B. Question B, probability Z less than A. Probability Z less than A is 0.3851. Again, our concern is where to place your A, positive side or negative side. Okay, if okay, look at the inequalities first. Inequality is telling you less than A, right? That means you need to shade left hand side. So if I put my A at positive and I shade left hand side, I must getting more than 0.5. Correct or not? Because this one itself already 0.5, more than it. But we are given the probability less than 0.5. So A being positive is not possible. Okay, so A is negative. Yes, it is possible. Less than 0.5. So we know already the A is negative, right? So I advise one additional step here. Whenever you find your A is negative, don't straight away label it as A. You need to let A equal to negative T. Okay, so for example, I label here negative T and then I shade. Okay, you all know how to read this type of graph. So you already learned in your example 10. Okay, sorry. So you need to reflect, right? Whenever you get, if you get something like this, that means you can straight away read from your table lah. But if you don't understand, you reflect it first. So it is actually probability Z greater than T is same probability, okay, which is equal to 0.3851. So your T should be actually 3851 is the value that previously we find. Remember, the 3 is the T is 0.292. Unfortunately, this is not the final answer because we need to find our A. So what is our A? A is actually negative T, remember? Now negative 0.292. So it's very logic because initially your A was negative. So for negative case, put the negative T. Don't straight away put A. Why like that? Because let's say I put A here, and then when you reflect, this should be negative A. You might be confused why in a positive side you got a negative symbol here. That's why I don't want you to avoid that confusion among you. So I want you to put negative T whenever you know it is a negative value. Alright. So part C. Okay, part C. What is the question? Z greater than A 0.7851. Probability Z greater than A 0.7851. Okay. Right. So we need to construct the graph first. Okay. In the middle it is 0. Alright. Okay, now think. You need to shade right hand side. Okay, because greater than. And it must be more than 0.5. So, in here should be your A, so that when you shade right hand side, it will be more than 0.5. Correct or not? So, it is on negative side, right? So, let A equal to negative T. So, negative T here. And then we can calculate this lah. So, remember how to solve this one. We need to reflect this graph. And the negative T become positive T. The shaded region become like this. Okay. So, I'm very sure you already mastered your example 10. So, we only can read this side. Correct or not? From the table. So, 1 minus. We are reading the opposite side, right? So, make sure you put 1 minus lah. 1 minus probability Z greater than T. You only can read this from your table. So, but then you want the opposite thing. So, 1 minus the thing lah. And this is equal to 0.7851. Okay, if you search for 0.7851 in your standard normal distribution table, you are not going to find because the maximum you can find is 0.5. That's the proof. You need to make modification first. So 1, you exchange this lah. 0.7851 is equal to probability Z greater than T. So what is probability Z greater than T? Okay, 1 minus 0.7851, you should be getting 0.2149. Okay, let's together find from the table. Take note, whenever the Z greater than T, baru kita boleh baca dalam table kita. Okay, then only we can read from the table. So 0.2149. Okay, let's look at it. Wait, 0. What? 2149. Okay, forget. 0.2149. Okay, let me erase all this thing. Can I erase? One shot gone. Okay, hold on. I want to erase this part. Not possible. Okay, anyway. Right, let me use the eraser. Okay, it's worked. So what we are going to find? 0.2149. Okay, so 0.2 should be around here. It is descending order. You can easily find it. Can you see 0.248? Very close with 0.2149. But however, remember you need to choose bigger than this. Although it's very close. So you need to choose this. Okay, 0.2177. Okay, but then to make it 0.2149, how much you need to minus? You need to think that. Okay, key in your calculator, 0.2177 minus 0.2149. Okay, it should be give you the answer 0.0028. So you minus 28 lah. So you see 3, 6, 9, 12, ini semua tak ada kan? 27 is the closest lah to the 28. Jadi, you tengok. How to rate? 0.789. Okay, 0.789. So, your T is equal to 0.789. Remember, we are not finding T but A. A is equal to negative T. So, negative 0.789 will be the answer. Okay, let's look on the next question. Question D. -1 until -1 until A. Don't bother much about the symbol of inequality in continuous random variable. It's not really mean anything there. Okay. Equal to 0.3851 again. The number repeating. Okay. 0.3851. It's okay. Okay. Let's see this. Okay, let's have a sketch on this. Okay, 0. -1 is very close to here. So your A must be here. If you thinking, some people they think like this. Okay, negative 0.1 and A can be on the same side. Yeah, can be also, but when you calculate, it can. I try to calculate. It doesn't match the answer. So you can try that if you want. Sometimes it will be like this on the same side, or since negative 0.1 is very close with 0, so the next value should be at positive side. Use your logic. Okay, is your logic. If let's say if this probability Z, probability Z negative 2.4 Z, and then A equal to 0.421, for example only lah. So this one, yes, negative 2.4 very far from 0. So your A memang dia akan ada dekat sini. Boleh faham the difference? The 0.1 is very near with 0. So of course the next value you want to find 0.3851 is mean quite a big number of probabilities. So your A should be at positive lah. Or you try both. If let's say worst come to worst, you try both, which one valid, you take that one. Okay. So, probability -1 A, right? Okay. So, A is positive, so I don't mind put here. If it is negative, then only you need to let equal to -t. So, if like this means you all know, right, which one you all can read from the table, this part and this part. So, 1 minus probability Z greater than A, and 1 minus, and negative 0.1 kita akan reflect kan? Betul tak? Negative 0.1 is what you can read. And then you reflect here. Betul tak? So, dia akan jadi probability Z greater than 0.1. Okay. So, that's it. And then the answer is 0.3851. Okay. 1 minus, kita kena cari probability. Ini, you nampak? Ini bukan, this one is finding the probability. You are not finding Z score. Because Z score is given 0.1. Finding probability very easy, what? 0.1, right? Ini careful lah. A, kita cari Z score. Ini 0.1 dia dah bagi, maksudnya kita cari probability lah. Z greater than 0.1. Okay, kita tengok. Z greater than 0.1, how much? Z here, 0.1 here. So, 0.4602. Nampak? 0.4602. So, 0.4602. And then, bring here and exchange with this. Minus 0.3851. The negative probability Z greater than A, pergi sana, probability Z greater than A. Okay, solve this. 1 minus 0.4602 minus 0.3851. 0. So, probability Z greater than A. Nampak? Kalau macam ni, baru kita boleh read from the table. 0.1547. Okay, kita kena cari yang ni lah. Closest to this, you need to find something bigger, bigger than minus lah. Okay. Right. 0.1547. Okay. Okay, I cleared the table. Okay, 0.1547 is what we want to find, correct not? So, ingat kita cari Z score. Z score. Okay. 0.1547. We got 39 and 62. So, 62 is the bigger lah. Jadi, kita ambil yang ni. Jadi, 0.1562 minus 0.1547, you get 0.0015. Betul tak? Jadi, kena minus 15. 15 tak ada 14 or 16. We cannot minus with a bigger number. So, take 14 lah. Okay? So, what is your Z? You baca ini. 1.01 and 6. 1.016. Okay. So, your A is equal to 1.016. Because your A positive, no need to put TT all. Okay. Right. Next one. E. Your answer is 1.017. Because they might be taking kita tadi minus 14 kan. Kita ambil minus 14 kan. Okay, here 15 the answer, but we take 14, right? They are taking 16 lah. It doesn't matter. Your marking scheme in the exam, SPM examination, they will consider both answer. But logically, we need to minus the small number lah. So 1.016 also correct. 1.01, 1.017 also correct. Okay, so we get the correct answer. Okay, let's move on to the E. A until 2.1, 0.8633. Okay. Probability A, Z, 2.1, 0.8633. Okay. let's have a sketch on this. Your A should be positive or negative. Kita kena think the one first. 2.1 is here. Your A, if let's say here, let's say we shade here, adakah logic bahagian ini more than 0.5? Sedangkan kesemua bahagian ini 0.5, hanya this little bit is 0.8633 is not logical. Correct, right? So, we cannot take A as our positive. So, your A definitely here. Definitely. Okay? Opposite side. So, since it's fall on negative, always don't forget, let A equal to negative T. So, negative T is here. Alright? So, and then you shade in between. Okay, you all know how to deal with this, right? Okay, we only can read this and this, correct? Not so probability, sorry, we are reading the opposite, right? So 1 minus probability z greater than 2.1, and then minus probability z greater than negative t. Kita, okay, we actually reading this part, negative t, jadi dia akan jadi apa? Reflected here. Can you see? Z greater than t. Okay, if you don't understand what I explained just now, that means you need to go back to your example 10. Okay, equal to 0.8633. So 1 minus z greater than 2.1. Kita boleh cari terus dalam your normal distribution table. 2.1. So 2.1, cari 2.1. 2.1 is here. There. Because z greater than 2.1, that means your z score is given 2.1. You are finding probability 0.0 0.0179. Okay, 0.0179, and then bring here this one 0.8633. So probability z greater than t become the subject. Okay, minus all these things. 1 minus 0.0179 minus 0.8633. You should be getting 0.1188. Okay, so kita cari T dia berapa terus, because like this means you can read from your table 0.1188. Remember, we are finding Z score now, not probability. Okay, so 0.1188. Okay, we're gonna find that. Okay, 0.1188. So 11 mana 1188 90 lah, slightly bigger. Okay, and then you need to minus 2 lah. You all know 90 minus 2 you get 88. Betul tak? So now you see very fast we finding this. So 1.181 1.181. Okay, itu dia punya nilai Z lah. 1.181. So that is T. We want to find the A. A is equal to negative T. So negative 1.181. Okay. And it is tally. And then your F. 0.4742. And it is less than. Okay. Modulus less than. That is your F. 0.4742. Okay, this one I think very easy to do. Okay, you sketch the normal distribution graph, and this is your so since you have modulus, so it will be negative t and positive t lah. Actually, you can, if it is a modulus, you just maintain as a lah, because we can put it here negative a and positive a. For modulus is okay, because you got both negative and positive. And then you need to shade this area. So as usual, you all know, right, how to do this. 1 minus, you only can read this area and this area. So probability, this one, z greater than a. And this one also, when you reflect, probability z greater than a. So 1 minus same probability. So 2 times probability z greater than a is equal to 0. 0.4742. So 1 minus 0.4742 is equal to 2 times probability z greater than a. And then 1 minus 0.4742 over 2 is equal to probability z greater than a. So 1 minus 0.4742 divide 2, you should be getting probability z greater than a is 0.2629. So you need to find this one in your table. 2629, okay, 0.2626 mana? 22292826. 2643 ada, 2611. We are finding 0.2629. So slightly larger is this one. So 2611 is way too small. So kita kena tolak lah. 0.2643. What we want to find? 2629. Basically 43 minus 29 lah. Okay. 43 minus 29 is what? 14 lah. Kan? Cari 14. 14 tak ada. You ambil lah 13. Okay. So 0.634. Zero point six three four. Okay. So your A is 0.634. Cukup lah. Because negative and positive both also will having this value. Okay. There. 0.634. Okay. And part G and H also I can explain here. Okay. Okay, we continue with part G. Part G, you can see the diagram on the right shows a standard normal distribution graph. The probability represented by the shaded region. Dia dah bagi probability 0.3415. Find the value of K. K is actually Z score. Remember Z. So first, you need to know how to write this thing in a probability notation. Okay, you tengok lah. It is from K to 0. Correct not? From K to 0. And the answer is 0.3415. Okay, now we need to find the value of K. So how to do that? Okay, first of all, whenever they give you any unknown, positive unknown here, you all know, right? I always will turn this into negative t. That's what I will do lah. First step. So let A, sorry, not A, K. Let K equal to negative t. So what I will get now? Negative t, Z, 0. And they already draw for you already. Okay, so we are going to use the diagram lah. They already draw for you already. Okay, how to calculate this? We reflect the diagram. We reflect the diagram. Apa yang akan jadi? 0 here. The K saya dah tukar jadi negative t. So it become positive t here. Correct or not? So how I'm going to do working for this? So very simple. Remember the whole thing. This one cannot touch the x-axis. Okay. Remember this whole thing is 0.5. Okay. And remember you only can read this part, the blank part, z greater than t. Correct not? And that will be equal to the shaded part, which is 0.3415. Okay. I explain again. You see this whole thing is 0.5. And which part you can calculate from the graph, from the table, the one I tick, right or not? So you will get remaining what? Shaded region. So just operate this. You get z greater than t. What do you get? 0.5 minus 0.3415. You should be getting 0.1585. Okay, so kita cari 0.1585 kat mana? 0.1585. Let me clear this thing. 0.1585. So kita cari 15, 39 ada, 62 ada, 1587 saja ada. Betul tak? Jadi kita kena tolak 2. Tolak 2 sudah ada di sini. Okay, 1.001. Okay, 1.001. Okay, so your t is 1.001. However, we are not finding t. Remember, we are finding k. Remember, k equal to negative t. Jadi, negative 1.001. Tengok, k dia dapat dalam negatif. Why saya tak guna k? Sebab kalau saya guna k, when you reflect, you will always put k also. Common mistake, because positive, right? And then you ended up, you get k 1.001, you forget to negative it back. That's why whenever you see your z-score fall on negative, always let it to be negative t. Easier, no confusion. Okay, H part. Okay, this one again, you're finding the z-score here. Okay, so the diagram on the right shows standard normal distribution, and the probability is 0.1524 lah. Find the, but the question is asking what? Find z. They are not asking actually finding the m. See that or not? They're actually finding us the z less than m. Okay. So, okay, let's come back to this. Probability mz 0.35. The shaded part, how you calculate? You take the whole thing and then you minus this part, z greater than 0.35, and then this part is what actually? Probability z less than m. Remember, this is what the question one. So now we substitute the values. P m until 0.35 already given, 0.5124. Okay, this one 0.1524 equals to 1 minus probability z greater than 0.35. We can read from the table. 0.35 is here. 0.35. Okay, we are finding the probability. So this one 0.3632. 0.3632 minus probability z less than m. That's what we can write here. Okay, then bring the probability z less than m kat depan. 1 minus 0.3632, and then 0.5124 you bawa belakang, and then get the answer. So you're getting 0.1244. Dia tak tanya m tau. Dia tanya z less than m, what is the probability? Jawab dalam probability juga lah. Dia tak tanya m. Let's say you tersilap find m, and then after that I find less than m, can you will get the same answer, but in a very long way. Okay, right. So that is example 10. sorry, 11. Next, I want to continue with example 12 as well. Okay, so because we want next week to prepare with all kind of problem solving sahaja. Okay, right. Question A. Okay, question A. X follow normal distribution. Kena faham dia punya notation. This is your mean. This is your variance square. Variance, sorry. Sigma square. X, dia bagi more than 51. Already give you the value. But what is the S value? That's the question one asked lah to find. So probability X more than 51. Meaning what? Probability, you cannot find X. You need to change to Z score. Remember, every time. 51 minus the mean. Mean is what? 45. Over standard deviation. If variance square is S square, so standard deviation should be S, which we don't know. And the answer is 0.2888. Okay. So how to do this? Okay. We try to simplify first. 51 minus 45, 6 over S. 0.2888. Okay, now we need to find the Z score lah. Something like we need to find the Z score, but partially we already find, but it's okay. What we can do now, you try to sketch this first. Okay, initially I want to label this what now? Okay, this is greater than, okay, let 6 over S, I put T first. If it is negative, then I will just add up like this. Then easy for us to see. So if my T is here and then more than, yes, 0.288 is very logical. If let's say I put my T here, that means negative T, and then I shade here, and then the answer is 0.288 is not logical at all. You all know, right? From your previous lesson. So I put it at here, T. And then I shade greater than. That means sekarang it will look simple like this, which you are familiar with. Betul tak? Kalau macam ni kita boleh terus baca daripada table kamu. 0.288. This is the probability. We finding Z score, remember. Okay. 0.2888. 0.2888 tak ada. 2888 tak ada. 2912 adalah. Okay, nampak? So 0.2912, 0.2888. Kita cuba minus. Berapa kita dapat? Okay, kita akan dapat 24. Jadi kena minus 24. Dekat sini ada 24. Nampak? Okay. Jadi 0.557. 0.557. Jadi T itu adalah 0.557. Dan T ni memang positif. So what is T? T is actually 6 over S equal to T. Kan kita dah tahu T itu 0.557. So find out your S then. S equal to 6 over 0.557. And you should be getting S equal to 10.77. Okay. That is part A. What is part B? Let's see part B. I hope you understand. Whenever you give incomplete, you just let it with T. Easier. And then if it is negative T, just add the negative symbol there. Part B. If a continuous random variable X normally distributed with the mean M and variance 12, variance ini, given that macam ni, find the value of mean pula sekarang. Sama je konsep dia. Okay. Probability X more than 32 means what? we must convert to Z score. 32 minus mean over standard deviation. Jangan ingat ini standard deviation lah, ini variance ah. Ini variance. Standard deviation is square root of what you can see here. Okay, and the answer is 0.8438. Okay, first of all, you tengok macam ni dah stress kan. Kita convert kepada T first. Whether it's positive T or negative T, saya tak tahu. Jadi saya leave a little gap here. In case it's negative, I just write negative. Saya tunggu dulu. Okay, 8438. You convert first. Before that, you need to tell. Let T equal to 32 minus M over square root 12. Okay. You buat macam tu, tak apa. Okay, sekarang kita cuba lukis. Very bad. My normal distribution. Okay. This is 0. You punya T, you nak letak di positif ke negatif? Greater than. If I letak positive and then I shade greater than, it must be less than 0.5, but the answer is more than 0.5. So, positive T is not valid here. So, if it is negative T and then I shade greater than, memang logic lah more than 0.5. Okay? Right or not? So, I know it is negative T here. So, ingat sekarang kita dah tukar kepada negative T kan? Okay. Dekat sini. Let negative T. Let negative T. Letak situ. Siap-siap. Shade properly. So, you all know right how to do this. If you don't know, just reflect the graph. It become positive T. You can only read this part. So, 1 minus probability Z greater than T is actually equal to 0.8438. Okay, cuba cari yang ni dulu. 1 minus 0.8438 equal to probability Z greater than T. So, kita minus. So, probability Z greater than T is actually equal to 0.1562. Okay. Sekarang kita cari 0.1562 from your table. 1562. Okay, kena clear ni. Okay. You need 0.1562. 1562 mana? 15. You got exactly 0.1562. Nampak tak? Sini. Tak payah tolak lah. That means 1.01. 1.01 Okay. So T is equal to 1.01. The story doesn't end there. Because what is your negative T? Negative T is 32 minus M over square root 12. Sekarang kamu gantilah. Negative T. T is 1.01. Multiply square root 12 is equal to 32 minus mu. Okay. So, apa yang kita dapat? Negative 1.01 square root 12. This one you should be getting negative 3.4987. Okay. And 32 minus M. So, M is equal to 32 minus, tukar jadi plus lah, 3.4987. So, you akan dapat 35.4949 atau 50 lah. Kita round off lah kan. When you round off, 35.50 lah. As given in the answer there. So, this is the correct answer. Okay, please revise your 11, example 11 and 12 because next week going to be the last section of your normal distribution, which will determine whether you can answer the SPM question or not. Okay, right. That's all from me.